Una.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Okay, so I came here because we are together. We are going to create some big changes in our practices, and we are going to, by extension, create change in healthcare. Okay, so I'm looking for some big excitement. If you're here, you're not taking a shower, turn your camera on. Okay, so put your camera on. I want you to be all in while you're here. I'm all in. Team EntreMD is all in. Makita is here. Nicole is here. Say hi in the chat. I see you guys are from everywhere. I saw Virginia, I saw New Jersey, Arizona, Atlanta, Texas, Florida in the house. So welcome. We have done these workshops, Makita, geez, over the last 6 years. We've done so many workshops, so many master classes, but today I feel we're going to do one of our most important ones, right? And so what I want you to do is I really want, Makita already asked you for this, but I really want you to give this the time. You're already here. So be here while you're here. I want to invite you to have a really open mind to look at things differently because everything around us is changing. The worst thing we can do is stay the same. I want you to walk away with this impression that things are about to change because they absolutely can. You know, we have the benefit of seeing that, EntreMD will be 7 years old in September, and the EntreMD Business School will be 5 years old in June. So there's been some time lapse to see like what can actually happen with physicians. And we have seen physicians go from being employed, because I know, I looked at everybody's responses as you were joining the Facebook group, like what is the biggest challenge in your business? A number of people said, the fear of getting started, I'm just getting started. A number of people talked about filling up their schedule. People talked about maximizing profits or having a team, or there was one that really was, it made me go like, man, we really need to get louder about what we do. Is like, I've been bearing the weight of ownership for the last 9 years. Like, I'm just tired. You know what I mean? And wow, when we do day 3, you'll see how you can share that burden with your team so you don't have to do that alone. So I've looked at these things, but I'll tell you this. In our work with doctors over the years, we've seen people go from employed to a 6-figure practice, multiple 7-figure months. We've seen that. We've seen doctors go from burned out, wanting to throw away their practices, to a point where they're working 4 days a week, 3 days a week, 2.5 days a week, because that's what they want to do, and their practices are working. And so all the things we're going to tell you about, they're not theories. They're things that have worked and worked and worked. We've seen it work in so many people. And it's our hope that then whatever it is that is the primary pain points that brought you here, that you walk away with direction on how to turn that around. Okay, that's why we're here. But today there's even more at stake, right? Like, what happens when we don't figure out our practices? Well, we run the risk of closure. And I'm a very positive person, right? Very optimistic. And I'm not saying anybody here is going to shut down their practices, but this is a thing that is happening every day. And it doesn't have to be that way, right? We run the risk of not having the impact we set out to have. Physicians, we don't go into medicine or private practice because we want to make a buck. I mean, like, that's a really nice side effect, right? But we go in because we want to help people. We want to make a difference. We want to help people in a way we think they deserve to be helped. And what is the opportunity cost? No financial freedom, no time freedom, right? And in the times that we're in, it's a little more significant than that, right? So Makita was talking about me going live, and I went live because, somebody was talking about the hospital they had worked at for 15 years. It was acquired by private equity, and now they shut the hospital down. And the person said in the last 7 years, in the last 6 years, they've had 7 hospitals shut down. Who's taking care of those patients? What happened to those patients? What happens to their access to care? What happens to them being sick and they can't be seen? It's literal suffering and literal death. And so for everyone in private practice, I just want to tell you this, like, you're the answer the healthcare space is looking at. Now, do we need more things? Yes, we need more things, but when it comes to it, you're the ones seeing the patients, you're the ones taking care of them, you're the ones finding where they need to go, and all of these things. And if our private practices fall apart, then we are really, I mean, like, we're in for some really tough times. And so you're a private practice owner in 2025. I just want to say this to you, like, kudos to you, like, God bless you. the healthcare space needs you, patients need you. And sometimes we think like patients, but we're the patients. Our family members are the patients, like our friends' parents are the patients. And so thank you for what you do, but please understand that healthcare needs you more than it's ever needed you before. And so it's not just about like what we show you will work for you. You have a lot of impact. You have financial freedom. You have time freedom. This stuff works. We always talk about that. We always want you to build businesses in that way. But beyond that, please understand in 2025, the United States needs you, healthcare needs you. What you do is very, very, very important. And if we can get to a critical mass of people who are empowered physicians running profitable private practice, building brands, doing all of those things, then we're in a position to turn around and right this ship. But nobody's coming to save us. And if you look at healthcare, nobody's coming. Nobody's coming. We're it. We're it. Nobody's coming. So I'm really grateful that you're here tonight. We're going to do some very, very important work tonight. And I just want you to take it as seriously as it is. It will work wonders for your family and all of that, but everybody needs what you're doing. Okay? All right. So in the chat, throw up some emojis for the private practice owners that show them some love. Okay? I'm a private practice owner, 15 years and counting. Super excited about that. Okay? But we're going to thrive. There are ways we can thrive. Okay. All right. So your success is important to you. It's important to your family. It's important for your longevity. It's important, as far as living a life of significance. It's important to the health of the health of the wonderful people of the United States. And so we're committed to supporting you over the next 3 days and beyond, to help you build a practice that wins. Okay. So if you're committed, let me know in the chat, type I'm committed. I'm committed. I'm going to make my private practice work. I want you to think of your private practice like your own little healthcare system. Okay. I'm building my own healthcare system. Okay. Because these ones are falling apart. I'm going to build one. Okay. I'm going to build one. So I'm committed. I'm committed. You don't have to have the whole figured out, the whole how figured out. You just need to decide I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this work. Okay. Okay. Good stuff. Dr. Edwin is like, I'm very committed. I love it. Dr. Edwin is a rock star, total rock star. Okay. All right. So day one, today we're going to look at filling up your schedule. Day two, we're going to look at how to get paid for the work you do. This is a whole skill, very different from seeing patients. Okay. If you've been in private practice for longer than 5 minutes, okay. But we're going to show you that. Okay. Then the third thing we're going to look at is how to build a profitable team, a team that can help you have more impact, time freedom, and financial freedom. It has not ceased to amaze me how we can build teams, and the bigger our teams get, the less profit we make, and the more of a burden it is because the team is not bearing the weight with us. They're doing stuff, but we have not empowered them to bear the weight with us. So we're going to show you how to do that. And so your payroll goes from being an expense to being an investment, and you get excited about making payroll because everybody you're paying is making your life easier, not harder. Okay. Okay. So we're going to do that. And somewhere along the line, multiple times, we're going to talk to you about the profitable private practice movement. Okay. And so this is a movement of physicians. We show up every week to work on our practices, make them better. The skills we're talking about now, we do deep dives on them, and it's all for less than the price of a cappuccino a day. Okay. So the team will post the link in there. It's entremd.com/movements. We'll talk to you multiple times about it, but let's start by talking about filling your schedule. Now, why do we start talking about filling your schedule? Hi, Dr. Anderson. Dr. Anderson is like, PPPM is amazing. Dr. Anderson, we probably get your story at some point because Dr. Anderson is killing it. And I knew from day one because she's a massive action taker. Okay. So why do we start from filling your schedule? Because nothing works till that works. Okay. Nothing. When we talk about getting paid for what you do, you have to do the thing to get paid for what you do. That's what will pay for the team and all of that stuff. And so we're gonna look at filling our schedule, and we're no longer gonna be complacent about it. Okay. Now I remember many years ago, I'm a pediatrician. If we haven't met before, I'm a pediatrician. I'm the founder of EntreMD. I love physicians everywhere, and I help them thrive. That's what I do. Okay. I've had my private practice for 15 years. I retired from it technically 5 years ago. Haven't set foot in the building for the last 3 years, and it's been wildly successful doing its thing because I have a team. Okay. Okay. So back in the day, pediatrics historically during the summer is slow, right? Because the kids are not in school. Nobody's saying your kid had a fever, go see the doctor. People are on vacation, all of that stuff. And this is what used to happen. So I'd hear people have this conversation. How's it going? Oh, it's slow. It's slow. Okay, so because it's slow, I'm sending my team members home. And I remember thinking about it. I'm like, wow, but your team members signed up to work with you. So what's going to happen if you just send them home and you don't pay them? Like, how are they going to pay their bills and do all of those things? And so it was a very passive approach. Like, the schedule is not full and it's the summer, and so it's slower, and so that's what we're going to do. And I remember making a mental note of that. I was like, I'm never doing that. Like, I'm going to figure out how to keep my team members at work, and I'm going to figure out how to do it in a profitable way, because I'm not going to keep them at work and then they won't work and I'll pay them. Okay, so I started looking for the strategy, like, what can we do? So we're busy. This is the thing. So I want you to type this in the chat if this is the way you're deciding to show up now. I'm proactive. Okay, I am proactive. Type that in the chat, because we're not going to say, oh, it's slow, so we're just slow. No, if it's slow, make it not slow. Okay, make it busy. No, we don't roll over and play dead. This is not a strategy for thriving at all. And so I remember thinking about it, and finally I came up with this. I said, I know what I'm going to do. I know that they're not going to be a bunch of sick visits, because the kids are not in school sharing their germs and stuff like that. But guess what everybody's going to need? Everybody's going to need a physical. Right. And people are going to go on vacation, but people don't go on vacation for 3 months, right? They're going to cycle through. And so what we started doing is, from March and April, we start getting everybody scheduled in May, June, and July for their checkups. And that year was the last year we ever had a slow summer, because we know it's coming. We know how to respond to it. Do you guys see what I'm saying? But you have to feel it, because if you don't feel it, that's a whole, like, 3 months is a quarter of the year. That's a long time to be slow. You probably don't have pockets deep enough to handle that, right? Okay, so our schedule, we're going to look at it as something that we build, something we're in control of, something that we can determine, like, this is the way we want our schedule to be. And so I'm going to give you 3 strategies, like, what you can do to fill your schedule, okay? Now, one of the reasons this is very important, if you think about it, you already paid your mortgage to support this schedule. You already paid the team to support this schedule. You're already paying the utilities to support this schedule. And so when your schedule is not full, that's your profit going away. Please hear me. That's your profit going away. That's like you opened up the window. You're like, let's throw out some dollars. We have too many dollars here. You just threw them out. And they're like, okay, I'm fine with 50% of the patients I would usually see. If you think of it that way, then you're like, no, we're going to fill it. Right? Many of you, like, you suture people and do stuff like that, right? I want you to see, like, when you see holes in your schedule, it's like hemorrhaging. Okay. And we don't say, oh, I wonder why this patient is bleeding. You stop the bleed. Okay. So holes in your schedule is like bleeding. Okay. So let's talk about how to fill it, because you can. Okay. I'm going to give you 3 strategies. I am giving you 3 strategies that have worked, that work, that will continue to work. Okay. And these 3 strategies, let me take a look again. These 3 strategies will work even if you have competition. They will work even if AI shows up and it does what it does. These are 3 proven things that work. They work, they'll always work. Okay. You guys ready? Let me know in the chat if you're ready. I don't know. Talk to me. Let's see. If you're ready, we'll do it. If not, I'll go like, I think they got, hi, Dr. Gina. Hi, Dr. Jordan, Dr. Beckford, Union Mill Pediatrics. Okay, Dr. Matt, okay. All right. We'll go. Okay. The first one. Now, deep breath, okay? Because some of them you may not necessarily like too much, but they work. The first one is referral marketing. Okay. And if you're an introvert, so am I. I get it. If you're like, but I'm shy, so is I. I get it. If you're like, but I'm a private person, so am I. I get it. Okay. But remember, you're the CEO of a healthcare system. Okay. That's who you are. You're the CEO of a healthcare system. And I think when you think about a CEO of a healthcare system, one of the big things they do is they build relationships. That's a non-negotiable. Okay. All right. So, but let's talk that Dr. Beckford said you took away all my excuses. I'm here for you. Been there, done that. Have 72,000 t-shirts. Okay. We wonder how you know. Now, when I talk about referrals, I am referring to you building relationships with people who have large numbers of your people. Okay, I'm going to break it down. Okay, so for instance, I'm a pediatrician. Okay, so my client, let me not use patient, right? Because my patient is not the person who pays. The person who is my true client is the parent, right? Most likely the mom. That's the person who makes the decision. This is the doctor I want. That's the person who swipes the credit card or the debit card or whatever. Okay. Now, so a good referral source would be somebody who has access to a lot of moms or to a lot of parents. Okay. Now, as physicians, we typically just think other doctors, but we can expand that. So let's think about it, right? So who has access to the moms? Well, OBGYNs do. Okay. Who else has access to the moms? Daycares and schools do. Who else has access to the moms? Anywhere there's a women's event, guess who's there? Moms, right? And so when you think about it, you have these buckets of people. You even have local influencers who primarily talk to moms. Do you see what I mean? Like, so all of these people become potential referral sources for me. Why are referral sources important? Because they're the gifts that keep giving. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story about that in a second, but they're the gifts that keep giving. They can give you 1 patient, 2 patients, 10 patients, 100 patients, 1,000 patients. They can give you 100 patients a month. Like, it's just wild what referral sources can do. Okay, so yes, it may be a little intimidating to do that, but the return on investment is wild. So when I started my practice, I started 15 months out of residency, right? Because how else would you do this? Because I didn't know any better. I didn't know any better. I was just like, I'll hang my shingle and they will come and it'll be amazing. And I hung my shingle and they did not come. So I had a job that I worked. It was maybe 2 days a week. I would go see patients and stuff because I self-funded my practice. I didn't get a loan or anything like that. Now, the lady who started the practice, I wondered about it because she was 6 months into private practice and she was so busy she couldn't see all the patients herself. She needed to hire me. And I'm like, what in the world happened? It turns out that she had 3 friends that were OBGYNs. So what do you think they said? We'll get you busy. We'll get you busy. And in 6 months, she was busier than people who had been in practice for 10 years because that's what a referral source will do for you. Okay. Now there's multiple stories like this, but one of the most dramatic ones, we have a doctor, was Entre MD Business School, Dr. Leslie Golden, and we talked about referral marketing, and she started building her referral base, and so she's building these relationships with different people, and then she gets this person who's sending her 2 or 3 patients a month, this person who's sending her maybe 10 patients a month, and all of that stuff. But there's this particular group she had her eyes on, and they had 19 clinicians between doctors, nurse practitioners, PAs, and all of that. And she's like, man, it's a big group. If I get this one group to refer to me, it will make a huge difference. Okay, so she tries to get to have lunch with them, to do a meet and greet, all of those kind of stuff, and she just hits roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. Month 1, month 3, month 5, month 7, month 10, month 11. Month 11, they finally say, okay, come on in, come do a meeting, do a lunch and learn with us. Okay, so she does weight loss and it's an orthopedic group. Okay, so she goes in, she does the lunch with them, and guys, it wasn't 19 people, it was 42 clinicians. 42. And at the end of it, they're like, oh my goodness, you're amazing, give us more cards, all this stuff, blah blah blah. The last time I asked her, she was getting 5 to 7 referrals per day from one group. So the question I have for you is, if you got 5 to 7 referrals per day from a group, what would it do to your practice? Type in the chat. Like, just type in the chat. Am I telling you that's what you're going to get? No, but I'm telling you what is possible. What will happen? It will blow up. Yes, in the best possible way. You're going to need to break down walls, start new locations, hire new people. You're going to say, like, Dr. Una, we're way past the filling the schedule thing. Like, we need to talk team now. Right? Per day. Per day. Okay. And you might say, I can't believe that. Fine. What if you got 2 per day? What if you got 1 per day? 1 per day is 20 new patients per month from one person. Okay. So the return on investment is so high. So please, if you are like me, you're an introvert and you're a private person and you'd rather stay in Barnes and Nobles and read a book or take a walk than talk to people, I get it. Okay. But remember, you're a CEO. You're a CEO of a whole healthcare system. Okay. So this is something that you do. You didn't do it before. Now you do. Okay. Now, when it comes to that, the question is like, where will I find these people? Every referral source you need already exists. They already exist. Okay, so when we say how where will we find these people, it's not from a place of impossibility, it's a place from of possibility because they already exist. Okay, so it is really as simple as this, and this would be your homework. Okay, what is your homework? You're gonna go build a database. And when I say build a database, what I mean is open up a Google sheet or an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so let's not make this complicated. Okay, you're gonna build a database. And you're going to build a database of at least 50. I like 100 better, but at least 50 people who can potentially refer to you. You don't know if they will or not, but they can potentially refer to you. So you are dermatology, for instance. Who are all the primary care people that you have? Where do the women gather who want to do all the stuff? All that, like, where are they? Where are they? Right? You are a pediatrician like I am, OBGYNs, daycares, all of these things, women's events. Where are the people? Right? Where are the people? You are what other specialty should I use? Family medicine, right? Then you talk to all the OBGYNs, you talk to all the pediatricians, you talk to wherever people gather, local events, you talk to people who own businesses, right? Plastic surgery, same thing. Like, who are the people who refer to you, right? Some dermatology refer to you, some practice, and their communities. And guys, this includes communities online. We had a doc who, she's an allergist, and there was a group that they talked about, a particular disease condition, right? Like a support group that was local. And she would go into that group once a week. She'll go answer questions and stuff like that. Then she became the allergist. Like, everybody from that group went to her. Right? There's so many, like, I want you to think about it. So Facebook groups, I want you to think about, other physicians. I want you to think about other groups, like non-medical groups, and all the people that are there. And then you build your database and you start working those relationships. Okay. It may feel weird in the beginning because that's not what we would typically do, but oh my goodness, the ROI is huge. Okay. You're going to do it. Let me know in the chat. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Right? If you know, because think about it, that right there is $1 million Rolodex. Like, when you build that database, it's $1 million database. It's $1 million database, because out of the 50, if you could get 7 actively referring to you, that's wild. And the truth of the matter is, if you wanted to build a 7-figure practice, right? This one strategy can give that to you. But the thing is, one is too dangerous a number in business. So I will never show you one. It violates every principle in the book. But this one thing can deliver a 7-figure practice to you. And you build the relationships and you follow up with them and all of that stuff, and you track your referrals till you're like, oh my goodness, this person is an active referral. Because this is the thing. People refer to people they know, like, and trust. That's just the truth. People refer to people they know, like, and trust. Dr. Matt, if you were in Atlanta right by me, and I'm like, oh my goodness, wonderful. I met him, like, he's amazing. I saw him at this workshop. What? Send the people there. Right? Because people want to refer. I had a physical therapist who came to my practice. This is many years ago. She came to my practice. She was pregnant. She had just started. She had great reviews. I talked with her. She seemed like she knew what she was doing and all that. What do you think I did after I was done talking to them? I just walked up to my front desk. I was like, she's not in a practice. Let's get her busy. Send everybody to her. That's it. With that one line, that's it. So there are people who want to do that for you, but if they don't know you and they don't remember you, they won't do it. Okay, so no more hiding. No more saying I don't do stuff like that. No more saying, I'm shy. Okay, because you're a CEO. Okay, like, yeah, we do what we need. We do what we need to do. We do what is right. We do what is needed. Okay, so no more hiding. No more. Okay, and if you're shy, you just show up like the CEO, do the bold thing, then go back home and be shy. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good stuff. All right. So how many of you are seeing it? Show of hands. Like, you're seeing, like, I see. Because if I do this, I do it consistently, I can fill my schedule. I can get rid of all those holes in my schedule. I can do it. All right. So number one, referral marketing. Number two gets missed a lot, okay? It's called internal marketing, okay? If you want to see 20 patients a day and you end up seeing 15 patients a day, chances are within the patients you already have, you have the 5 extra patients a day. Chances are, okay? Now, this strategy is the strategy we used to thrive during the pandemic. Now, in the pandemic, an unprecedented number of private practices went out of business. It was ridiculous. But in 2020, we did better than 2019. And 2021, we did better than 2020. And the strategy that was most responsible for that was internal marketing. So you see, I'm not going to show you one thing, even though each of these things can take you to 7 figures. Some will work better than others at different times, right? So in the middle of COVID, who are you going to see in their office? Nobody's coming out to see, nobody even knows what's happening. Nobody's talking to you, right? And so if that's the only thing you know, then you're in trouble. So if you have 3 that you're working, then based on whatever the season brings, you're ramping up whichever one you can ramp up. Okay, so let me tell you what internal marketing is. Internal marketing is leaning into the people you already have that need services that they haven't received yet. So for instance, I'm a pediatrician, so we will see people at 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, 9 months, 15 months, 18 months, 24 months, and on and on and on. And this is well checks. We're not talking about sick visits. So I could have, at any point in time, I could have 40 patients who are overdue for a 6-month checkup. I could have 30 patients who are overdue for an 18-month checkup. I can have 50 patients that are overdue for their 6-year checkup because at that point they're not getting shots. So they're like, whatever, I'm fine, right? And all of that stuff. And so if I just went and brought in my own people who are overdue for appointments, my schedule would be full. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's internal marketing. And so we have a lot of, I will say this for me, I won't say it for you. Okay. You're nice and all. Okay. But we have a lot of entitlement. Like I do a good job. They should know they should come back. This is not the way the universe works. Okay. Let me ask you a question here. If you're here as a nice, good physician and you or your children are currently overdue for an appointment or a screening, we will not judge. And this will not show up anywhere. Just type me in the chat. You know, you had the mammogram you haven't had yet, the colonoscopy you haven't had yet. Mm-hmm. The 5-year-old that hasn't had the 5-year-old check yet. Like, and we're physicians. We know the periodicity table. We know what needs to happen. Look at all those me's. I'm not going to call any names because we don't judge. Dr. Jordan says, I'm here for all the colonoscopies. Call me. Right? So, but do you see that? So if we as physicians are overdue, please know that your patients are overdue. And they're not going to, of their own free will, say, oh, this is nice, I should go do this. So you can remind them. You can remind them. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so at every point in time, there are people in your ecosystem overdue for appointments, which means there are appointments that could be on your schedule that are not there. Right? Okay, so internal marketing involves a number of things. So I'll tell you what they are. So, but the idea is that people overdue, bring them in. Or they're people who don't know their services you offer. So for instance, we had an ophthalmologist, okay? And people come to her, we have an ophthalmologist in the Ontario Business School. People come to her for all the medical stuff, get their eyes checked, and then they will go somewhere else for the surgeries because they didn't know she did surgeries. Now, we're not all rocket scientists, but I hope you know the value that insurance companies today place on the medical is a lot less than what they place on surgeries. So she was throwing away significant revenue because they didn't know. They didn't know. Right. And so maybe you're nice and you have same day appointments and your patients don't know. So they're going to the urgent care and the ER. That's all revenue, like flying away because they don't know. So internal marketing, that means letting your people know they're overdue for appointments or their services you offer they don't know about because you have extra appointments within the patients you already have. Okay. Now, how are we getting them back? You can call them. You can go to your practice management system. You can pull a list of everybody who's overdue for appointments, and you're like, boom, come in. Okay. You could email them. We collect emails all the time, but there are very few private practices that have collected their emails and email their people on a regular basis. But guess what? Every time you email them, your phone will ring. Every time you email them, appointments will be scheduled. That's just the way it works. Okay. You can email them. When they come into the office, don't let them leave until they schedule their next appointment. It's a thing, right? Because they're not going to remember. We're doctors and we don't remember. They're not going to remember. Okay. You can do that, right? In your email blast or in your office, you could put up signs. We also do this. We do this. We do same day appointments. We do all of this stuff. Internal marketing. Okay. Again, a truckload of money gets thrown away here. A truckload of opportunities to fill up our schedules. They just go away. They go here to die. Okay. Did we get that? Let me know in the chat. If you got it, say I got it. I got it. So you can see that filling your schedule is all about asking referral sources for referrals, asking the people who already work with you, like, hey, come back, right? It's all about asking. And you're a CEO, so you get comfortable with asking. You put in enough reps, you get comfortable doing it. Okay. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Can you handle one more? I'll give you one more. I'll give you one more. Yes? No? Dr. Una, I just want to go work on these two. Hey, Dr. Tajo. Yes? Okay. Okay, good. So one more. So we've done referral marketing, can take you to 7 figures. For an established patient, for an established private practice, your internal marketing could take you to another 7 figures. It absolutely could, because we just throw it away. We just throw it away, right? Okay. Number 3 is content marketing. Okay, is content marketing, whether that is social media, whether that is YouTube, all of those things. Now, I know, okay, because people come to Makita, they're like, I want to join the EntreMD Business School. I just want to know if Dr. Una is going to make me do social media. This is the only objection I have to joining the EntreMD Business School, because I don't want no social media. I've had people come in, Dr. Anderson is like, I knew it was coming, right? I have people come in, like, you can't find them anywhere. You Google them, you can't find them. You look for them on social media, you can't find them. You can't find them anywhere. Well, guess who else can't find you? Your patients can't find you. If I can't find you, they can't find you. Because I'm good at looking for people. Yeah? Okay. So profile picture, yes, profile picture is a picture of their cat, right? And then the name is a fake name. It's like, guys, this is the deal, okay? In the times we live in, with what AI is going to do and all of this stuff, one of the most powerful things you can do is build your own brand. That is your protection. That is your protection. That is your protection when AI comes and everything is commoditized, because people will go to people they know, like, and trust. But for you to be known, liked, and trusted, they have to see you. They have to find you. They have to hear you. They have to see you. And I'm not talking about becoming an influencer. Okay. I'm not talking about, we're entrepreneurs who create content. We're not content creators trying to influence. Okay. And a lot of influencers have 1 million followers and $2 in the bank. Dr. Una is not about to teach you that. I'm not about that life. I'm about serving and earning. We do both. Okay. So it's not about that. It is about building a dominant brand so you can be found and you can be positioned as the preferred option. Okay. Let's have a come to Jesus moment here, right? How many of you would like to be the preferred option? Like, when people ask about whatever your specialty is, they're like, go to her, go to him. How many of you want that? I mean, I want that, right? So Dr. G is like, of course. Dr. Tejo, yes. Yes. Dr. Anderson, Dr. Beckford, Dr. Doris. So this is the deal. If you want to be that, people need to be able to find you. They have to find, like, you have to show up. They have to see you. They have to see that you're consistently showing up and all. And once they decide you're it, that's it. You're it. To you, to them, to their family, to their friends, to everybody. Guys, and we live in a time where most people don't want to show up on social media, don't want to show up on YouTube, which means something. And what that means is this: if you say yes to it, you're the expert. Nobody's competing with you. There's no competition. There's nothing because nobody else is showing up. So you're it. You're the only option. So, guys, um, maybe you've thought about YouTube and you've been running away because you're like, oh, the tech, the thing. You can legit start a YouTube channel with your phone. I did YouTube with my phone for years. I have the simplest, like, this is the simplest setup ever. I have Zoom, I have a little ring light, and I have a microphone. That's it. I don't even do fancy stuff. But it's not about that. It's about you showing up. It's about you answering the questions that's top of mind for them. It's about you making them realize that you are the option. It's about that. That's what it's about. That's what will make you shareable. That's what will make you likable. That's what will make you do all of that. And we have like trainings on how to pick topics and all of this. I'm telling you, it's not complicated. It starts with you saying yes to it. It's not complicated. It starts with you saying yes. Same thing with social media. Dancing is not required. Okay? Doing weird stuff is not required, but you do need to show up. And let's see who I pick. Let's say you're a family medicine doc. Okay? This is not, you don't have to talk about stuff you don't do. You don't have to talk about, like, legit. It's like, I had this patient ask me about how to cure their hypertension with, naturally, because they don't want to take medication. This is what I told them, blah, 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 blah. That's one, right? Number two, like, you just pick, you listen. Oh my goodness. How do I make this so simple? You don't even have to make up stuff. Guess what happens every time you go to work? Every time you go into your office, people ask you questions. Turn on the camera and answer the questions. That's it. That's all. If you're a writer, you can write it out, you can type it out, but just do the same thing you do. Your patients give you content all day, every day. Just take the question they asked you, turn on the camera, answer the question. Because guess what? They asked you, guess who else is asking? Their friends, their cousin, their mama, their dog, everybody's asking, right? And it makes you so shareable because they've been talking about it. I wonder about this. I wonder about that. Now you answer like, "Ooh, look at what this doctor said about that." That's the way that happens. But if you will show up there, it would make a huge difference. You will get patients from YouTube, you will get patients from social media, you get tons of patients from social media. I mean, it will open so many doors for you. It is something to explore. Now remember, if I was just talking to the old you can say, "Oh, I don't do things like that, blah, 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 blah." But remember, this is the new you. This is the you that's the CEO of a healthcare system. Right? And if you're the CEO of a healthcare system, you will show up on social media, right? Chances are you will show up on YouTube. But guys, it is such a huge opportunity. I have had clients do this and they have had patients come out of the woodworks, like come out from everywhere and find them and say that they're the ones for the job. I mean, it's amazing. And the thing about this is that it's part of brand building. And the thing about brand building is when you build a brand, it will work for the business you're in and every other business you will ever own. Every other business you ever own. It will create opportunities for you didn't plan for. I have clients who are now associate professors because they had this profound YouTube channel. They've had it for years, it's ongoing. And then people are like, "Oh, yeah, yes, we've looked at your work and all of this stuff. We know you're the person for the job." Like they got to be a professor because they showed up on YouTube. We have people that have been invited to have their own radio show, own TV show, speak on stages, all kinds of stuff, be on boards just because they found them on YouTube. Okay. Now, when I did this, I didn't know any of this. When I did, I stumbled on it. And I started doing a Facebook Live every single week. I called it the Legacy Parent Show. I didn't even talk medical stuff, right? I talked about parenting. I talked about being a confident parent and the funny things kids do to drive us nuts and stuff like that. And I cannot tell you, I didn't know it had any impact. I did it because I wanted to master the art of speaking, which is another beautiful consequence of, showing up and doing this stuff, but I digress. And so I was like, "So how, new patients, how do you find out about us?" "Oh, I saw you on the Legacy Parent Show." And then it was obvious who our pediatrician should be. Why did they say that? Because the speaker is always the expert. We think the person who's board certified is the expert. Not for the general populations. Like the person who speaks, who shows up, that's the expert. So be the expert. Be the expert, right? And so we had so many patients come from that Facebook Live show, so many that when I started cutting back my clinical hours, I had to shut down the show. That's how many patients I had from it. So guys, hear me. It is such an opportunity because most people, their answer to this is no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to. So there's no competition. Like there's stiff competition on YouTube, but not for physicians. We're not there. We're not there. We're just not there. Okay. Okay. So content marketing, you showing up and doing that, it will make you shareable, make you more referable. Because guess what happens when people say, oh, this is a doctor you should look for? Guess what happens? They're going to Google you. They're going to Google you. When they Google you, what's going to show up? Now, if you build this out, then you become bingeable. And so with each thing they binge, they're more and more convinced you're the person for the job. So by the time they come, they're like, oh yeah, this doctor is the best thing since sliced bread. Okay, so let's backtrack. The reason I'm taking the time to explain this is because I want everybody to be crystal clear that you can thrive in private practice. I know there's this whole narrative of whatever, blah, 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 but hear me, you can thrive. Is it challenging? Yes, but it's not as challenging as being a doctor. You've done more challenging things before. Okay. So can you thrive in this? Yes. Okay. Now, I want you to think for a second. You built your referral base. You have at least 7 people referring to you on a regular basis. You built out your internal marketing. So you have a high proportion of your patients at all times who are up to date with all the stuff they have to do with you. And you embrace content marketing. So new people are finding you. And you have your content marketing is like a full-time employee that never gets an attitude, that's always working for you 24/7. That's what your social media YouTube is. It will never call out sick. It will never have an attitude. It will just do what it needs to do 24/7. If you did these 3 things and you did them for 6 months in your practice, and I want you to be honest, my feelings will not be hurt if you say it won't make a difference. But if you did this thing consistently for 6 months in your private practice, what do you think would happen? And is the same 2025, is the same, whatever is going on is going on. Well, what do you think will happen? What will happen to your schedule? That's what Tony says, too big, too fast. That's okay. We have a solution for that too. It's day 3. Okay. It's the team. It's the team. We don't want you to handle it yourself. Okay. Who else? Who else? Consistently 6 months. Dr. Doris, growth. Dr. Andrew said, have to buy a bigger building. Dr. Tejal, balloon effect. Dr. Beckford, massive growth. Dr. Andrews, like, let's just put those fire emojis because that's what's about to happen. Guys, we can win. Well, we will not win doing things the way we've always done them. We do need to change the way we do things. Okay. And when you think about, when I talk to private practice owners, they're like, I'm burned out, I'm so tired, I'm doing all these things. But when you ask them, the things they're doing do not include these 3 things. Not include those, includes other things that aren't working. And I want you to eliminate the things that aren't working and do the things that work. These things have worked. I've been in private practice, not forever, but for 15 years. And I have coached hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of physicians who own private practices. And guys, this stuff works. It has always worked. It will always work. They're not fads. They don't go away. Right? Okay. All right. So this is the thing. Okay. So if you do this consistently, that's what will happen. And that is part of the reason why we started the profitable private practice movement. So I'm going to talk to you guys about that for a second before we get your homework done. And the reason we created that is because we wanted to create a container that was very simple, right? Like I'm a physician, but I like simple things. I like things that are not complicated, things that are clear, things I can just follow through and do. We wanted to create a simple container where doctors can come together once a week and work on their practices and work on the most important things. So when we talk about the profitable private practice movement, it is a membership where you are working on 5 results. Okay. You're not working on everything. And these 5 things. Could you do 25,000 things in your private practices? Yes. But 5 things. Number 1, keeping your schedule full. Number 2, getting paid for the work you do. Number 3, building a profitable team. Number 4, working your revenue cycle, right? Like your biller, all of those things, because the AR is where private practices go to die, because typically we're not looking at that. And then number 5 is this profit that you've generated. How can you convert it into wealth? It's 5 things. It's just 5 things. Because I know I have consulted with a lot of private practices, and I can tell you, you fix these 5 things, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost revenue that is being recouped. Is the most amazing thing. Okay. So we work on 5 things. Okay. And we work in a very simple framework. Every Thursday, 12 noon, we get together and we work on it, right? And we have sessions that are training sessions. So like what I'm doing now, but we do a deep dive on one of these things. And we have sessions that are co-working sessions. Dr. Beckford runs those, like, sit down, now let's work. Okay. How many of you're honest enough to say, I get it, Dr. Una, but I don't want to do it. Yeah, I think this will work amazingly, but I don't want to do it, right? And so we have co-working sessions where we come together and we all do the uncomfortable thing together. And these docs come in and they get this stuff done. They're building their referral base. They're reaching out to referral sources. They're doing these things. So it's creating the results. So like Dr. Anderson, she'll tell you, right? You come on, someone's like, oh, I got 3 new referrals last week. I was able to speak at 2 events that I pitched the other week. I was able to do they're getting it done because it's simple. But the problem with simple things is that they're easy to do and they're easy not to do. So we create a container where you have the accountability to keep doing them, okay? And then so it's clear results. It's not a whole lot of time, but we use the time properly. And then the third thing is the investment is less than a cappuccino. It is ridiculous. It's $197 a month, which I can tell you, you can tell me from this session we did tonight, y'all already owe me more than $197. Right, right. Like that. This is already more valuable than that. Now, so for you to shop 4 times a week and it's 197, why do we do it that way? So there's no reason for anybody not to be in the membership. That is the truth, because it is a container where you can thrive and win, and you're with people who are thriving and winning, and you can disconnect yourself from this whole narrative. Private practice doesn't work. Every private practice shut it down. No, 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 no. There are people who are winning, and there are people who've been winning. Right? Okay. So entremd.com/movement. We did it the way we did it, so you don't have to overanalyze and overthink. Like, should I do it? Should I do it now? Should I do it later? Should I just do it? Do it. Why? We didn't get a business education to figure out this private practice thing. Now you can do it. Till today, I have friends going like, you're a little ridiculous for doing all that value for that price. It makes no sense. Okay. So we do things like the 7-figure private practice blueprints, the 7-figure referrals. Like, so the referral source, we do a whole deep dive on that. We do a dive on making data-driven decisions as opposed to, yeah, I think that's okay. Let's do that, which that's not how business works. Right. And so we have all of these things doing. In fact, our next session is so fun, is the 21-day profit turnaround. Right? It's like 21 days. These are the activities we're going to do to increase the profits in our private practice. It's going to be so fun. So everybody's going to get a 21-day challenge, and boom, we're going to make our practices better. We start that on Thursday. Okay. Thursday at noon. Okay. So if you have questions, you can post that in the chat. I'll see how many of those I can get to. But you want to sign up on trendy.com/movement. And then just get in there. Yeah, I'm teaching the next session on Thursday. It's going to be super exciting. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about profits, right? Because no profits, no taking care of patients. That's the way that goes. Okay. All right. So this is day 1. If you have questions, post those in the chat. If there are none, that's okay. Now, tomorrow is very important. Tomorrow, we're going to look at how to get paid for the work you do. This is a big disconnect that a lot of physicians have. So they're like, oh, I'm so busy, but I don't know what's happening with my bank account. So seeing the patients is one skill. Filling up your schedule is one skill. Getting paid for the work you do is a different skill. Can you learn it? Yes. And I promise it is easier than the Krebs cycle. It's easier than your PALS and your ACLS algorithms. It's easier than all of that stuff. Well, how do you get paid for the work you do? Okay. All right. So we're going to do that tomorrow. And after that, you're going to be in a position where the insurance company can do what they do, but you know what to do to make your practice work. Okay. And then day 3, we're going to look at how to build a profitable team. I am so blessed to have, I at this point run 5 companies. And in each of my companies, I have rock star team members, every single one. And they are the reason why, we're able to have the amount of impacts that we have. I'll tell you guys something funny. We had an event for the EntreMD Business School called the Business Makeover Mastermind. We do it once a year, and we come to do deep dives in their businesses. And the event was on Friday and Saturday, so the 25th and 26th of April. So I was going to the hotel on Thursday. I got in my car and then I texted Makita. I'm like, where am I going? Like, I didn't even know what hotel I was going to. Like, I don't know the hotel. I don't know what the people I eat. I don't know any of that because I have a team that understands how to pull their own weight. And I'm very clear on the role I have to play, right? Same thing with my private practice. I have a wonderful private practice administrator who's technically run my practice for the last 5 or 6 years at this point. And she understands, like, I understand my role as the visionary. She understands her role as the implementer. And not only has she embraced that, but she's trained the next level. So now she goes on vacation and the practice is running smoothly. Like, how many of you will want that? And it can be done. We've been taught, we've been taught this whole thing of, if it's going to be, it's up to me. I'm the only one who can do it. And all of these things, nobody can do it like me, or I have to do everything. We don't have to do everything. Everything has to be done. It's different. We don't have to do it. Right. And so we're going to do that on day 3. Okay. All right. So was this good? Scale of 1 to 10. Let me know in the chat. How was this? How was this? Are you going to come back tomorrow because it was good? Right. I see 10 plus. I like Sarah. Sarah says 100. 100. All right. 10, 10. Dr. Matt, you're welcome. 10 plus. Dr. Anderson, bring in the fire. Dr. Benika, 20. Okay. Dr. Joy, 100. 100%. Love it. Okay. All right. So more stuff. The way we roll in EntreMDs, it gets better and better. So more stuff tomorrow. But I want you walking away understanding you're the CEO of a healthcare system. We want you as an individual to thrive, for you to have a lot of impact, time freedom, financial freedom. But beyond that, oh my goodness, the United States needs you. The healthcare system needs you. And it's time, like, there's a knock, like, who will be the Calvary? And I want everybody here to say yes. Nobody's coming to save this. Like, not only are they not coming to save us, they're not saving this. We're it. Okay. So I want to see every one of you thriving, crushing it, killing it, because that's what's needed. Okay. So rooting for every single one of you. And if you have any questions about the movement, you can forward those to Makita and all of those stuff. But really, it is such a no-brainer. It is such a ridiculously it's a no-brainer. So entremd.com/movement, go save your spot. And we'll do the rest of this week, and I'll see you on Thursday in the movement. Okay. All right. Rooting for every single one of you. See you tomorrow. Go start building those bases. Go start doing the marketing now. Okay. Good night.